I'm waiting for my stream to go live. It says it's already live. Come on, baby. There we go. There's the chat. Hey, hello. Yeah. Roll for Tarako says we'll be going over the Cattle map. I don't know what that is. Dice Goblin's laughing at it. Apparently Dice Goblin knows what he's talking about. I have no idea what they're talking about. Guten Tag. What's up? Hello. How you doing, guys? Nixit, what's up, dude? Liana, George, hello. Are hungry? Oh, I gotta do, dude. I gotta do my sleep. I gotta ping the world. Hold on a second. We haven't actually begun yet. That's why it says starting soon. Oh, not that way. That way. Wee. All right. Let me do some, like, you know, at everyone's on my Discord and crap, and then we shall get rolling. Power. All right, here we go. Let's go over to that right there. Hello, persons. No, that's not gonna work. Hello, people. Hello, humans. Hello, folks. Greetings, folks. Yay! I don't know. Who cares? Tonight we are talking about Wizards of the Coast, multiple VTTs they're apparently releasing. Multiple VTTs they are apparently releasing. If one isn't enough, give them two or more. Lol. We've had some setbacks in the development of our Unreal Engine virtual tabletop, so could you just slap something together? It looks kind of like Roll20 with minimal effort and just throw it out there. Well, yes, we can do that. Roll20 is not that hard to replicate. Okay, just throw something together, will you? All right, sweet, let's do it. Bam, there you go. Okay, well, I gotta finish my plug. Okay. Okay, and then I gotta put a link to the stream here. Got the wrong thing. Let's get this. I need to copy the link. Copy link. And then there we are. We should probably add everyone. There we go. Oh, I want to put I have a fancy photo. Hold on a second. I want to use my fancy photo. Live streams. Where are my thumbnail images? All right, here we go. Thumbnail images, specific topics. The organization helps me find stuff. Whee! There we go. Oh man. There we go. Get rid of the embed. I put a photo, I don't need the embed. All right, there we go. Paul in the 619. What is the 6? Is that like a police code or something that I should know about? I should Google that. Figure out what that is. Oh, hold on a second. I need to do this on Twitter too. Stand by. I gotta go on to Twitter. Social media platforms. Twitter. Oh, it's San Diego? Oh, it's an area code. Oh, I thought it was a police code. Okay. Oh, I should copy paste what I put on Discord, man. My life easier. I think that's what I did last time. Okay, let's get this sucker over there. All right. What is happening? All right, here we go. Twitter, way, yay. Hashtag D&D 5e, hashtag 1D&D. Oh, that's defunct. They no longer call it that. We don't know what to call it anymore. Dungeons and Dragons hashtag. Is there like a D&D Beyond hashtag? Gotta be a D&D Beyond hashtag. All right, cool. Let's toss it out there. All right, cool. All right, that's out there. I got the tweets and stuff done. Cool. There. Squeaky wants attention. I wonder where Papi Chulo is. I don't know. He'll be here sometime tonight. Our new cat will be up here. I'm sure he'll come up here and jump on the desk for us all. So Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We haven't started yet. Formerly known as Twitter. It's Twitter. It'll be Twitter forever. I don't care what they rebranded. It's Twitter. Just because you have had the domain name X registered for like 2 decades and you finally found something to do with it. Whatever, dude. Do you mean X? Getting live Discord updates. How to RPG? What's up, dude? Yes, multiple VTTs. Well, yeah, we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about like we're gonna do this fancy 3D virtual tabletop, you know, and then hey, surprise! Here's another VTT. They're not calling it a VTT. They're calling it D&D Beyond Maps, but they're just like surprise! Woo! We're gonna talk about that. It's like no fanfare, just like, oh, here you go, guys, check it out. From the playtest, it looks like it's just a remake of 5e. What does that mean? How is the virtual tabletop? Oh, are you talking like D&D 5th, like 6th edition or 1D&D? It'll just be a remake of 5. I mean, that's what they're calling it now. Now they're calling it a remake. They're just updating the rules and stuff. They're trying to say that they're getting away with editions, which I think is what they say every time they release a new edition. So it's like, now they're saying it again. It's like, okay, we did this 10 years ago. Thank you. They didn't need a 2D version for us poors. Oh. It's a reboot. Yeah, it's a reboot. The 5e reboot. They needed to do something for their 50th anniversary, and what better way to celebrate their 50th anniversary than to give you books to buy? They did the same thing for Magic the Gathering. Yeah, I don't know who plays Magic the Gathering, but for their 50th anniversary, they had these 50th anniversary decks, and I'm not an MTG player and stuff, but I've watched videos about it. And apparently these collector boxes were $1,000 or something, and people were really upset. It was like a big money grab type of thing or something. Were they? I don't even know. They might have been proxy cards. I don't even know if they were. I don't know. I don't know all the details on it. You guys can talk about that in the comments. But anyway, it's like, let's celebrate our anniversary by making something for people to buy. Oh, was it the 30th? Was it the 30th anniversary for Magic the Gathering? Was that it? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll get them screwed up. Thank you for correcting me. I'm not an MTG player, so I just pull numbers out of my butt, and then chat yells at me, and then I apologize. That's just how I do it around here. Ted from Nerd Immersion was sent a leak about D&D maps on D&D Beyond in 2019. It took them 4 years to develop that? The camera is too small for you to see the shock on my face, if that's true. 4 years. Hey, Eric, what's up? You're welcome, dude. Thank you, man, for popping in. Hey, Bricknose, thanks for super chat, dude. You're very welcome, man. The Hobgoblin's wife? Hobgoblin's wife. Well, thank you. I don't remember that one. I have so many adventure names in my mind. I just got... We're redoing our website right now, and this morning I was working, like, for hours figuring stuff out. I was literally looking at tons of different adventures we had published and hosting them and doing a bunch of crap and stuff. So, all right, what do you guys say we get this show on the road around here? Which really means I just click a button and I become big. This is like, it's not, yeah. Where's the button though? Find the button. Whee, there's the button. See, now it has begun. It has begun. So we're going to be talking about the Wizard of the Coast maps and their virtual tabletops and stuff tonight. Yeah, that's pretty much what we're talking about tonight. It's fun. Like, tons of videos are coming out. Like, Professor Dungeon Craftmaster came out with a video, and then Nerd Immersions had a couple videos out there, and then another YouTube channel that I don't like to mention their name. They have some videos talking about it and stuff. So there's some people talking about it. So like, I should probably do a little talky about it, right? Zephyr says, I love helping new players and DMs with your videos. Well, thank you, dude. Does that mean you're sharing it with them? You're like, hey, dude, you need to watch this video. Oh, yes, Roll for Combat did 1 or 2 recently. Yeah. I didn't watch those. Those are long live streams. I watched Dungeon Crafts, and I got the cliff notes on 2 of Nerd Immersions that he put out. I have a fun program that gives me cliff notes on videos. It helps me with my research. Yeah. Oh, cool. Androgynous Anxiety says, I've recommended your videos to so many DMs recently. Cool, thank you, dude. I appreciate that, man. As I say in my videos, the best way you can help other game masters is by recommending sharing with them helpful content. I don't know, however I do it. Yeah. Basically just doing the YouTube crap. All right, so we're gonna talk about the map crap. I do want to do some announcements and stuff before we get into it, and then we will. Last time I was streaming, you guys, I want to tell you this. So my wife watches all my streams. She should be watching it. Oye, mi morcito, ¿estás viendo? I don't think she could hear me. Anyway, she watches all my streams. She should be watching it right now. She's not. I'm sure she heard me. Unless she's not up in the kitchen anymore. Because there's like a vent right here that goes directly up to our kitchen. So she can hear what I say. Are you gonna move my camera around? Little psycho? That was not nice. You were a pain in the butt. Anyway, what I was gonna tell you is that when I lean in close like this, it cuts the top of my head off. Okay? And my wife was telling me after the last live stream, like, you're cutting your own head off. You have to like make sure you're staying in frame and stuff. And I was like, yeah, but yeah, I like to lean in. So I gotta make sure I stay like right here. Have you seen the people? There are some people, you guys, have you seen the people that do YouTube videos? And like, you're moving my camera again. Listen, Fluffy, don't yell at me. You're the one moving my camera. And she's going right back to it. Are you kidding me? I cannot. No. You just touch her and she cries. Look at that. She's happy. She's purring. She just cries. Okay, check this out. So like, they'll make their videos and they're sitting with their head in the middle of like dead center middle. Have you guys seen this? Like, this is how they frame themselves. They're like this, boom, like right in the crosshairs of the center of the video. Like the whole 2/3. They don't do any of that stuff, where you split the frame into 2/3 and then you position yourself like none of that. They put their head like right in the middle, and this is how they film their videos. And then sometimes, and what they'll do too is also when you're positioning the camera, like you can get certain cinematic effects by positioning the camera above you so that it's got an angle coming down at you, and if you position it below you, it has an angle coming up at you. Well, if the camera's above you, it makes you look small and insignificant. If the camera's below you and you're looking down at the camera, it makes you look like, larger and intimidating and important. Well, some of these people will also have the camera like above them, pointing down at an angle with their head center frame. And I'm just like, please, just stop. I'm sorry. I'm going off on a tangent that has nothing to do with our topic tonight. Okay, you're down. You're going down. She's totally screwing me now. She just wants to screw it up. Anyway, let's talk about our topic, I suppose. Oh, I have to do sleazy plugs. That's right. All right. What was I going to talk about? Okay, first thing, we have a giveaway going on tonight. Join our giveaway. There's a link in the chat. Get a copy of Into the Fate, level 1 to 5 adventure module for 5th edition. I wrote it. It is amazing. It's beautiful. I have to say that, but it's really cool. The winner of the giveaway will get that thing right there signed. I will sign it. Or you can get store credit if you already have it. That's cool too. But we'll draw the winner to the giveaway at the end of the stream tonight. Next thing we're going to talk about is let's look at all of our wonderful patrons and thank them. Okay, so all the awesome people you see on the screen here are DM Lair patrons. Every single month, they support the content that my team and I make. So we make these videos, we make these live streams, we make all of the very humorous, entertaining stuff. Probably not. That we do this Saturday. One of our dumb sketches is coming out, the humorous stuff. Yeah. Anyway, so they help support all this content. They help support the free resources that we make as well. So very deeply appreciative to all of our awesome patrons. We literally could not do this without you. Super, super appreciative. Thank you guys. And then the folks on the next screen here, they support our content at an even higher level. So they get their names read out loud. Okay, this is where I like mispronounce most of their names. Every live, where are my buttons? Every live stream I lose like 20 patrons because I say their names wrong. All right, hold on, here we go. Adam B, Agile Monk, Alessandro N, Alex S, Alexander O, Alex S, Alexis S. See, I just lost a patron. Amanda W, Ambers, Andrew P, Angelique K, Art Soccer, Arutha, Ashley, Bavis Khan. Oh, good gravy. Sorry. Black Wolf 5, Bradley H, Brandon A, Brian D, Brian O, Brian the Lion, Cat Cat, Chad K, Christine B, Christopher G, Clay W, Colette, Colin W, Contrary Gravy, Dazzled Up, David S, David W, Dean B, Derek E, Dominique S, Don D, Dazem, Dungeon of Terror, Dutch, Edward, Ed R, Edward B, Edward L, and Frabo, and Dorian 72, Eric B, Flux, Forest Brew, Gamian, Gene A, Generic Throwaway, Goliath Cleric, Gray C, Greg P, Gregory H, Guapo, GVTM, Harlan S, Heart Ungaled, Helltongue, HLD, Iron Cascade, It's Beoban, Jackie Pizza, Jacob D, Jake L, Jacob K, James L, Jan F, Jennifer M, Jessica J, Jim B, Jim P, Joanne P, Joel G, John A, John P, John the Wicked, Jonathan F, Jonathan V, Jordan A, Joseph H, Joseph W, Josh M, Josh S, K, Kekno, Kill Saber Key, Kirby, Crystal S, Curry Claw, Lars H, Laura L, Lanehart, Linda, I don't know how to say that, Maclock, Matthew C, that's two of them. Michael G, Mighty Loki, Mirostal, Mitchell, Mo 20s, Moon, More Dakin, Mr. Owl Nerd with Glasses, Nerd over 9,000. That means Nicholas S, Neareth, Old Man Mage, Pancakes, Penguin Butt, Pithnick, Pivo, PN, Pork Chop. Could everybody just give me like one letter? For like PN is so close. Like 2 letters. If everybody just gave me 1 letter. Oh. Pork Chop Bacon, Psycho John, Puppet Master, Quantum Strike, Quinthemo, Randy B, Rebar, Renner C, Richard M, Robert W, Rob W, Robert C. I just offended Rob because I called him Robert. I'm sorry, Rob. Robert C, Robert J, Robin B, Roll for Combat, Russell L, Ryan, Sale R, Sakura, Samuel M, Scott R, Shadow 1317, Shane L, Sheila A, Simfan, Snapbragger, Snowbora Gaming, Son of a Sofa Man, Soul Naya, Stan the Man, Stephen G, Stephen G. Oh, good gravy. I can't do this. Stephen T, Steve L, Steve S, Sturm, Tackle Tokens, Terran, Terry V, the 3/4 Hospital, the old DM, the new bad Ombre, Thomas F, Timothy T, TK, Tom T, Travels the Lost, Trinity Series, Tyler D, Tyler R, Unalloyed, Undying Warlock, Victoria Q, Vinny, Vladimir S, Wesley K, William C, William D, XX Red Drum, Yul R, Zachary J, Zombie Trami. Woo! All right, thank you, everybody. Thank you. By the way, for folks who get Lair magazine or are interested in it, it is now on Foundry VTT. So if you want adventures, like awesome, amazing adventures for 5th edition or for Pathfinder 2, along with cool monsters, not all of them, but every other month we have adventure arcs that come out that also have our own custom monsters that go with them. If you want all that cool stuff in Foundry VTT, ready to play, dynamic lighting, tokens, everything, the shebang, all of your read aloud text, all of your adventure information, everything in Foundry VTT, that is now available for DM Lair patrons. So I'm very, very happy to be able to offer that to all you folks. So there you go. There's my sleazy plug stuff. And Goliath Cleric is like, Patreon. The link to the Patreon. Eee. Yeah, baby. All right. Will the store credit be signed? Yes, I will personally sign your store credit. Like when I send you the discount code in my email will have my name at the bottom. Typed. That's an electronic signature. That's what that is right there. Oh, dude, Andre, the Foundry integration is amazing. Do you want to see it? I'm gonna show it. I'm gonna show it to you now. All right, I'm gonna pull up Foundry. Now I gotta show it because Andre is tempted, and I gotta really go hard now. Come on, is Foundry gonna open up tonight? Woo! Oh, Yuri V says, I finally got your Layers and Legends book, and it's amazing. Yes, Layers and Legends. That was our last Kickstarter. It's super, super cool. Okay, let's go to Foundry. I want to show off this. I'm very, very proud of. Okay, let's go to the Pathfinder 2 conversion. It doesn't matter. It's do Pathfinder 2 or 5th edition, whatever floats your boat, we got it for you. Did I push that button? Join the game? Oh, I probably got to pick who I am. There we go. The game is paused. Don't pause the game. It's probably loading. Come on, baby. What did you do? All right. Now it's broken. Hey, I'm on a live stream. You can't break on me. Is it just taking forever to load? Zach, help! All right, let's try the 5v1. Zach, is this the... What is going on, baby? There we go. I don't know what was happening to that one. But anyway, here we go. So basically we got this, and if you select your actor, you can see we have dynamic lighting. We got the shebangs. You can open and close doors and clicking on them and stuff. The monsters are here too. Whoops, that rotates. The monsters are here. And if you double click the monster, you get all their stat blocks and crap. You can roll, you know, their junk in the stupid chat and stuff. Woo! I'm not super great at. There we go. I think it's that one. There we go. It rolls here. You can do your damage and everything. You can do it with advantage. Blah 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 blah. All that kind of stuff. So it's totally fully integrated. And then obviously there is a, what is it? A journal or something over here, where you have the monsters themselves that you can drag in and all that kind of crap. This has like the read aloud text, like it's fully integrated. Like you can literally just get this and run the whole adventure with just the Foundry, what's in Foundry. Like everything's in Foundry. It's the whole shebang. So it's very, very, very cool. So there you go. There's I'll show it off to you, Andre. Just to tempt you more. Oh, Mo says they did an update today and I had to hit refresh a few times to fix it. Oh, okay. Maybe that's what was happening in the PF2 one. I don't know. I'm not going to troubleshoot it right now. That's not the point of this live stream. Yeah, you know it's a real demo because something goes wrong. Absolutely, man. Dude, I used to work in software development and I crap you not. When we would like do a presentation to our stakeholders, like that's what happens every single time. It's like, well, here's how it works. And then it just doesn't work. Oh, that was an old draft. Was it Goliath Cleric? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I reviewed some of them and then we did updates and then Goliath Cleric reviewed other ones. And so, yeah, we probably have, it's probably nice and fancy now. That was like our draft of it or something. So cool. That's awesome. All right. Yeah, I'm going to get into the Foundry learning curve. I'm going to try, my game right now online is in Roll20, but I'm planning on transitioning it to Foundry. And I just got to get some time to just learn and do it, you know, type of thing. All right, we should probably talk about what we were going to talk about in this live stream. Don't you guys think? That'd probably be a good idea. Okay, so I'm going to basically do a spiel here. I'm going to talk about some of the things I had on my mind about this whole virtual tabletop, D&D maps and stuff that we're learning about now. And we're going to talk about what we know thus far. We're going to talk about what it means for us. And I also want to talk a little bit about a problem I see with fancy VTTs. And we'll get to that at the very end. And then I'll do my little spiel. And then for the rest of the live stream, we'll just talk and I'll answer questions and we'll just hang out and stuff like that. So I'll do my spiel first and then we'll get to that. All right. So what do we know so far? So there is this Unreal Engine virtual tabletop. And that is what they announced. When did they announce that? It was 6 months ago or so. I don't know. They announced it. And supposedly it hasn't been getting a super great reception. We've had some videos come out. Dungeon Craft was saying that there wasn't a great reception of it. Ned or Ted? Oh gosh, Nerd Immersion starts with an N. Therefore his name is T with a Ted. Okay, so Ted from Nerd Immersion. You see how I have to remember things? Ted from Nerd Immersion, he has access to the Alpha Edition, and he's under an NDA and probably can't show anything or something. But he did a video talking about it, and I literally have his video when I looked at bits and pieces of it, and there were some things that were lacking on it, and then there was also, so that's what we know about their Unreal Engine virtual tabletop. But it's just an alpha, Supposedly it's supposed to get better, right? As they iterate on it, as they develop it and improve it. But right now it appears that it's not getting the best reviews, but it's an alpha. So look, what do you want? You know, you want them to wait to give you the final version so that it'll be perfect? Yeah. So then a couple days ago, it was just a couple days ago, we literally found out that they had been working on a D&D Beyond maps, which is what they're calling it, in the background, and I didn't know anything about it. I don't know if they've ever announced it before they just said like 2 days ago, here it is. And they're calling it D&D Beyond maps, but it's a virtual tabletop. It is a virtual tabletop. If you look at it, you can put a map there, you can put your tokens there, like you can, it has all the functionality, I'm presuming, or at least most of it, of what you would expect from a virtual tabletop. So it's a virtual tabletop. Why they're calling it maps and not just a virtual tabletop, I suppose is so that there's not confusion between the Unreal Engine virtual tabletop and the D&D Beyond maps virtual tabletop. It's kind of like you might get confused, like, okay, so one D&D that's coming out isn't actually, it's not one D&D anymore. It's not 6th edition. It's not 5.5. It's just 5th edition. So it's 5e, but it's different than what we have right now, which is called 5e. So it's kind of like you might get confused on that. Well, in the same way, you might get confused on like the Unreal Engine virtual tabletop and the D&D Beyond maps virtual tabletop. And so they're not calling it a virtual tabletop. They're just calling it maps. I don't work there. I just read and get confused. So anyway, that's what we know. And it was released a couple days ago. Now you'll be like, well, is it any good? I have no idea, because it requires you to have a master tier membership on D&D Beyond, I believe. And I canceled my D&D Beyond membership and I have not renewed it. So I do not have access to it. I cannot go in there to even look at it and see if it's any good. And quite frankly, I don't have a lot of time to go in there and goof around with it anyway. So I don't know if it's any good or not. There's probably missing features, which is fair because it was released as an alpha. It's going to be missing features. So, which just brings me to one thing I do want to mention, which is the iterative development of this sort of thing. Like you don't usually release something perfect, especially if you're calling it an alpha, or even if it gets to a beta. It's never perfect. This is software development. It's iterative. You get something, you have what you call a minimum viable product, an MVP, and you put that out there. Well, here's the alpha. It kind of works. It's missing a whole bunch of stuff. Of course it is, but it kind of works. It's your minimum viable product. There you go. You know, and then you get feedback, and stakeholders, which is the playtesters, which is us, we're like, hey, it's missing this. It can't do this. It can't do this. It can't do this. And then they're like, oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. Let's get that in there. Let's get that over here and start working on it. Right. So this is the nature of software development. So it should not be a shocker that the alphas are not perfect. So you're going to see videos out there where people are making a big deal out of like, oh my gosh, it's like the virtual tabletop just got worse. It's like, it's an alpha and we need to calm down. It's going to take them some while. This stuff isn't fast. So anyway, because I have a background in software development and I know a little bit of how these things work. I wasn't like a developer myself. I was just a scrum master, if you know what that is. I know enough to be dangerous. But but people are freaking out that it's not something spectacular, and we gotta give them time, you know. Now, if they get time and it's like 2 years later and it's still a piece of garbage, well, then that's a different story, right? So anyway, I needed to mention that about the iterative development because I think people are just too quick to make YouTube videos or blog posts and stuff that ripping it to shreds when it's still in development, and you know. Come on, guys. In the rush to make content, you know, we forget to like run things past the logical part of our brains. Now, this is crazy because when I learned like 2 days ago that they had released the D&D Beyond maps, I was like, the first thing I did is I asked my buddy Goliath Cleric, Zach, I was like, dude, why did they make another virtual tabletop? Like, they're already developing one of them. Why were they developing another one? That was my initial question. Why would you do that? And Zach was like, well, maybe it's to hedge their bets in case the Unreal Engine virtual tabletop flops. Maybe, you know, at least they have one that they have that's working in case the other one, I don't know. I mean, I suppose they spent what I've been told when I've read is they've spent millions of dollars now working on their Unreal Virtual Tabletop. And so if that thing doesn't take hold and it doesn't get the reception or the user base that they're expecting, you know, well, then maybe they have this D&D Beyond Maps one, which probably didn't have a whole lot of development effort comparatively to the other one. I don't know. So maybe hedging their bets. But I think too that they're probably looking to get a head start on cornering the virtual tabletop market for D&D. So if they can put out D&D maps, or we'll just call it D&D Beyond Maps, even though it's a virtual tabletop, but if they can put that out right now and it integrates D&D Beyond characters directly into it, making character creation and then playing a virtual tabletop seamless process, if they can integrate that and put that out now, what that effectively does, it starts to give them that head start on pulling that virtual tabletop market. So people who play on Roll20 could be tempted to go over to that, right? People who play on different virtual tabletops might start saying, hey, maybe we should just play D&D 5th edition over on D&D Beyond Maps because it integrates the character creation, which is a pretty useful feature, let's be honest. And so if they want to corner the market on virtual tabletops, then releasing this right now gets them a head start on that. And it starts to migrate people over. It starts to migrate them over to their ecosystem, right? Of being on D&D Beyond Maps and being on D&D Beyond. And obviously, if people aren't at the master tier subscription, they can go get the master tier subscription, which I think is $5 a month. And then players and stuff can just play there. And so they start to leech away, you know, the user base from other virtual tabletops and get them in their own little garden right there. So getting a head start on that as opposed to waiting a year or 2 years, that could be very valuable from a business perspective, right? Just more revenue, more people coming over here. And then also not just that, but also if they're in your garden, if they're in your ecosystem on D&D Beyond Maps, when you release your virtual tabletop, the Unreal Engine virtual tabletop, there's probably a higher probability that those people are going to use the new one because it's new and fancy. It's like they're already in your yard, you know, and when you open the pool up, well, they're already in your yard, they might as well go swim in the pool, right? And so I think that's probably part of the rationale as well, to have a second VTT right now, as opposed to waiting for the Unreal Engine one, which could take a year or two, or who knows how long that could take before it's like fleshed out enough to actually release to the general public for use or something. So there's a couple theories about why you might have two of them. And I think one of the things that I've been thinking about or wondering about, and probably other people have as well, I suppose, is will 1D&D slash D&D 6e slash updated 5e slash whatever they end up calling it be available on other virtual tabletops such as Roll20 and Foundry VTT? Like, are they gonna put their updated rule system on Roll20 and other places so that people, if they're over there, they could play over there? That's the question that comes to your mind, right? And what I want to do is I want to play a little snippet from the video that D&D Beyond released a couple days ago, where they talk about this. They talk about this for about 1 minute or so. I'm gonna play the snippet and then we're gonna talk about it. But I want, the important part here is that I want you to hear exactly what they say, and then we're gonna analyze it just a little bit. All right, I'm gonna put my headphones on so I can actually hear it too. All right, and then I'll go over to here. This is the video. And I gotta make this bigger. Stand by. Mini player, theater mode. Theater mode, that's what I want. There we go. All right, listen to what they say.
Maps, what you're gonna see is fans are bringing in.
Oh, hold on a second. I can't hear them. Headphones. Why can't I hear them on my headphones? Oh, wait. My headphones are off. I'm a smart person. Let's try this again. I bet I can hear him now. I'm gonna start the clip over. You're gonna have to bear with me. There we go. All right. So let's listen to what they got to say.
And so with maps, what you're gonna see is fans are bringing in their D&D Beyond characters onto maps and playing. And then the next day, they may take the same character and be playing it in the 3D VTT. And then the next day, they may be going over to their friend's house and sitting around the table and playing again with the same character through their, mobile app, or they're playing just on.
Okay, hold on. Did you listen? Did you hear what she said? Like, okay, so this, like, what she just said, I feel like demonstrates a fundamental misunderstanding of how people play the game. Like, what game master, you tell me, what game master is going to prepare a digital map in a virtual tabletop with dynamic lighting, with tokens and everything in a virtual tabletop, and play there one day, and then the next day or the next week go play in person, and then get their minis together, get their gaming place set up? Like, people don't play that way. People do not play that way. People pick a platform and they generally stick to it unless there's a special occasion. Like, if you're playing on a virtual tabletop, you're playing on a virtual tabletop. That's how people play. And if you're playing in person, you play in person, generally speaking, because there's upfront effort to getting in one place. You don't just flip-flop back and forth. You don't do that. Like, who does that? I'm sure there are edge cases that do, but most people don't do that. So, like, what she just talked about, what she just said, does not conform to reality. Like, I know some people sometimes do, but most of the time, most people don't do that. All right.
Pen and paper, like,
oh, wait.
all of these different ways.
I gotta go back over here.
Are exactly, letting us build that flexibility for fans. Let them choose how and where that they want to play. And these integrated solutions is what's letting us do that.
I love that. There are so many ways to play. And speaking of which, what does this mean for some of the other great ways to play, like the other VTTs out there?
Yeah, so, we are committed to offering our D&D content wherever our fans want it. And we have great partners and we're happy with them. And we think this is just, again, giving players another choice of where they want to play.
Now,
well, there you go. There you go. I think that settles it, right? Like, that completely settles it. They literally said that they are committed to letting their fans play wherever they want to play, right? Like, if they want to play on Roll20, Foundry VTT, Owlbear, whatever else is out there, like Tailspire, like, wherever you want to play, that's cool. And they're going to offer their D&D content out there and make sure they have the proper licensing, and they're not gonna, block any of that type of stuff. They've committed to it right here. They've said that. Now, this is probably a good time to bring up that for 20 years, the Open Gaming License was considered unrevocable. For 20 years, it was not to be touched. When it was originally introduced by Wizards, it was deemed irrevocable. For 20 years, it stood there and nobody touched it. But then they decided otherwise. So I think I know that there are rumors and people talking about how when the updated 6th edition comes out, that it will not be available on Roll20, and it will not be available on Foundry VTT and other places. That people have been talking about the idea that when the updated 5th edition rules come out, that you will only be able to play them in the D&D Wizards of the Coast ecosystem, whether it's on D&D Beyond maps now, or whether it's on their Unreal virtual tabletop when it comes out. So people have been talking about that, and I think that this is probably a little 30 seconds of them trying to say no, that's not the case at all. They don't directly address that. They mention that you're committed to wherever you want to be and stuff. That's what they're saying now. I don't know, maybe I'm just a cynical old man, but I don't know that I believe it. I just don't believe it. I'm happy to be wrong. When one D&D 6th edition, whatever comes out, and it is available wherever you want to play it, and it's not just in their ecosystem, then I'm happy to be wrong, because I think the more places you can play the game system, the better. Give people their choice. If I don't want to be on D&D Beyond, or I don't want to have your Unreal Engine, let me play it on Foundry VTT, or let me play it on Owlbear Rodeo. Like, I think people should have the ability to choose where to play it. I don't know that that's going to be the case, though. So, when I think about it, and why I think that that's not going to be the case, is The entire purpose of the open gaming license revision that they tried to do, the entire purpose, when they tried to change the OGL on us, the entire purpose was to create a walled garden, a closed ecosystem. They literally were trying to cut out other people that were creating D&D products, D&D resources. They were literally trying to cut them out. That was their goal. That was their goal. And then there was an upcry. People freaked out about it. And then they backed off and they backed off and they backed off. And they're like, well, okay, fine. They gave up concession after concession after concession. But if you noticed, the last thing they were clinging to was in regard to the virtual tabletops. They gave people everything they wanted, except they were clinging to this idea of their open gaming license not applying to virtual tabletops. They didn't want people with spell animation effects and all of these sorts of things. Like, they were like, it's not intended for that. They were clinging to that. Why? Because they've been developing their own virtual tabletop. And the entire purpose of the OGL was to exclude other people from developing content for D&D. And the VTT was the last thing they clung to because they want that. Like, that is the thing that they really want. They want people to have, if you want to play D&D, to be in their ecosystem, inside their walled garden. Like, that was the purpose of the OGL. That was exactly what they wanted to do. And when they were trying to get that stuff in there, it was the intention of making it so they were the sole place where you could go to play D&D and get D&D content. Now, that all didn't work out so well, and it was went to Creative Commons and stuff like that. So that didn't work. Now, I need a drink. The thing is that if Wizards of the Coast own virtual tabletops are as good and amazing as they could be, and they're just, let's pretend that they're amazing, awesome virtual tabletops, then people will play there anyway. Like, you don't need to do these things about cutting other people out. If your product is amazing, people will just naturally flock to it and they will use it, right? So you could, in theory, just make an awesome virtual tabletop and then allow other virtual tabletops like Roll20 and Foundry use your system, have licensing and stuff to use the game system. But because yours is so awesome, people will play yours. A lot of people will play yours anyway. And then you could still let other people play it if yours is like super, super good, right? That is a possibility, right? If they're willing to do that sort of thing. However, I don't think that that's the plan. I think this is their plan B. So the open gaming license failed, right? They're when they tried to redo it, revise it, put out a 2.0 or whatever, that failed. And this is their plan B. So they couldn't shut down other virtual tabletops through the OGL changes. Therefore, they just won't license 6th edition on other virtual tabletops. Like, whatever they call it, 5th edition updated. There's probably got to be some legally distinct terminology that they use for it or something, because it's not exactly 5th edition, right? So their plan B is just, well, if we put out a new version of D&D and we don't give other places the license for it, well, then people have to come to our virtual tabletop, to D&D Beyond Maps or the Unreal Engine virtual tabletop to play the game. We just don't license the new version out, and then people have to come to us. And so then people will be there. They will be inside their ecosystem, inside their walled garden, spending money on their products. Like, you guys, they're spending millions. What I've read and been told is they're spending millions of dollars developing this Unreal Engine virtual tabletop. Like, that's a huge, massive investment. And so you got to think that they really want people to play it. And if there's a simple way to make people so they have no choice but to use their products, it's to not license that product to other virtual tabletop competitors, right? That would take their customers away and, get between Wizards of the Coast and their customers' money in their pockets, So again, happy to be wrong, but I think it's going that way. I think that's what you're going to see. You almost assuredly. Now, the 5th edition, current 5th edition, they might be true to what they just said in that video, and it stays licensed to other places so that you can play it wherever you want, but the new updated 6th edition, whatever they're going to legally call it, I don't think we're going to be able to play that elsewhere. I just don't think we are. There's too much stuff that points to the fact that we're not going to, regardless of what smiling people say in videos, I don't buy it. Maybe call me a cynical man. I don't buy it. All right, and now I have one last spiel, one last thing about the problem with fancy virtual tabletops. I don't necessarily like fancy virtual tabletops myself. What I've found is that the emphasis is less on the story and like the classic elements that make D&D so fun, and it's more an emphasis on the digital environment. Like I can tell you that like I run games on Roll20, and Roll20 is super simple interface. And it's work for me as a game master to put a digital map in there, and I use Fog of War. I don't use dynamic lighting, but if I had to add dynamic lighting to it, oh my goodness, then I'm adding tokens and stuff like that. And it's work for me to set that up as a game master. And I can tell you that one of the reasons I like to run in person is that it's easier for me as a game master to run my games in person at a table with a grid and minis or theater of the mind. It doesn't really matter. I like grid and minis. It's just easier. So the fancier a virtual tabletop gets, the fancier it gets, the more work I have to do as a game master to set things up. Like if I'm running in an Unreal Engine virtual tabletop, and I'm a homebrew game master, that's what I do. I make my own games. So I'm gonna have to make like a 3D map or something. So I'm gonna be in there, and I'm sure they're gonna have tools. I'm sure they're gonna have terrain and tiles and things that I can drag to create my maps and stuff. Really? So instead of spending my time focusing on my adventure, focusing on the plot, the story elements and stuff, focusing on all these different things that go into that, I'm going to be spending my time on my computer designing maps and getting the game ready in this fancy virtual tabletop. I just don't, that's detracting from like the part that makes the game really fun. You know, I'm having to spend more time on just making it look pretty as opposed to like the fundamental aspects of D&D or whatever role-playing game you're playing that actually make it amazing and fun. I've also found that virtual tabletops can slow down gameplay. When tech isn't working properly, when it takes time to get things to work, it can slow down gameplay. Nothing slows down gameplay at my table back there. Nothing. You got marker, you got like paper, you just boom, boom, minis, you go. Then nothing slows it down except for looking stuff up in a book. You know, that's maybe the only thing. But nothing slows it down. Tech fails and it's slower and all this kind of stuff. And how many times am I rolling a game in Roll20 and somebody's dice won't roll and they can't get the dice to work? And I'm literally, if you've played another game with me in Roll20, one of the things I literally tell you at the beginning as my debrief is, if tech fails, roll physical dice. Please just roll physical dice. Like, I don't want to sit here for 10 minutes screwing around with Roll20 and trying to get it to work. And I think also, and I've talked about this before, so I will keep it brief. Playing online via a virtual tabletop will never replicate the atmosphere and environment of being in an in-person D&D game. And this became super true to me. During the pandemic, my group transitioned, my Curse of Strahd group transitioned from in-person to online. And we played online for, I think, a year and a half or so. And then when we transitioned back to in-person, oh my word, it was amazing. Like the extra amount of fun was palpable. You know, it's just something about being in person. It's the atmosphere, it's the experience with other people that just makes the game so much more fun. And so you can't replicate that with a virtual tabletop. And the more fancy and more like a video game the virtual tabletop feels, then it feels like the farther you're getting away from the core elements that make D&D or Pathfinder or whatever RPG you're playing actually great. And so that's my spiel on fantasy virtual tabletops. I will probably always use a very simple virtual tabletop. Even if I go to Foundry VTT, I'm just going to use the bare bones stuff on it to make it work, because I want to focus on the parts of the game that are the most fun, not on all the fancy bling stuff that make it seem like a video game. That is not the part. That's not the part of the game that drew me to it originally. I don't think that's the part that's going to capture my heart or keep my heart with those of my players, but that's just what I think. All right. That was my spiel. I'm done just talking at you. Now we can talk more about specifics. I have the videos. I have up the Nerd Immersions video. We can watch more parts of this video or something. I don't know. What do you guys think? What are your guys' thoughts on this? Now we're just gonna like talk back and forth for the next hour or so. I like how a lower fidelity interface makes the players use their imagination more. Yeah, it's true. And it's less work for the game master. like I was saying, it's a ton of work for the game master to have to do these maps and things. Oh my gosh. Like I was watching Dungeon Craft's video that he put out this week, and at the end of it he was talking about, or well, during part of it he was talking about how he, back in the day, he was into Dwarven Forge terrain for a little bit, and then he discovered that he was spending so much time getting the terrain set up and stuff that he was sacrificing the time to make the parts of the game that they actually liked good, and his adventures and stuff were suffering from it. When I set up a game in Roll20, I throw the map in, I resize it, I quickly drag in monster tokens, I buy all the monster tokens. I use I almost predominantly use Kobold Press's Tome of Beasts monsters, and I bought all of their packs on Roll20 so that I can just drag the monster tokens in as quickly as possible. And then that's pretty much all I do. And then I just use Fog of War. I try to keep that as simple as possible to like reduce my prep time. I'm not sitting there goofing around with stuff. What camera do I use for my live stream? Well, this one right here is a Logitech Brio, B-R-I-O, Brio. I think it's about $150, $200 or so. It's pretty good. And then these ones, this one right here, and then this one here are, I don't know, I forget what they are. Logitech C920. Logitech C920 are my other two cameras. They're all really super solid cameras. And the C920s were like $30 or something. They're not expensive at all. One of the things that I love about playing in person is that I can just draw out the map on the grid, on the dry erase grid in front of me. It's just like most of what we play is theater of the mind. And then if there's an actual combat, then I will draw out the map on the grid and we play gridded combat, right? Otherwise, it's theater of the mind the entire time. And geez, you can just do like whatever when it's theater of the mind. It's amazing. That's why I'm a big fan of Owlbear Rodeo. It's super streamlined. I ran a 3.5 edition feudal Japanese game throughout the entire pandemic, and the burnout was real for me with the VTT. Back to in person. Oh, wow. So you were using Owlbear Rodeo, which is streamlined, but it was still hard, or you still got burnout from messing around with the VTT. Yeah. One of the things that I dislike the most about prepping for my online game is setting stuff up in Roll20. It's just, I don't want to. It's like, I've already made the adventure. And then the other thing is too, is that there's that, like, when I'm creating a homebrew adventure, what I normally do, what I almost always do, is just make my own map. I'll just draw out my own little map on grid paper. And that's how I make it. And that's how I run it right here. And when I draw out my own map, it allows me the flexibility of having what I need and want in my map. When I run something online, you know, it's like, if I just have like a grid online, it looks so kind of like meh, you know. And especially the game I run online, the folks are paying. They're my patrons. They're paying to play in the game. And I'm like, geez, if I just have like grid on there, that's kind of lackluster. And they're paying for the game. It should look better than that. And so I go out and get fancy maps, you know. But the fancy maps do constrain you to a certain extent of what you're able to do. Now, pre-made maps can also have their benefits because they can also encourage your imagination and creativity, because if you have a room in a pre-made map, you have to think, what the heck is this room for? And sometimes there are clues and different things on that map that will help you make something. So there are advantages to that. I think there's pros and cons to either approach. Sympatic Ghost. Hey, what's up, dude? How you doing, buddy? Rachel's gonna give Foundry a second chance. I have to give it a first chance yet. Like, I know I've played in it a lot. I have not been a game master in it, I think is the thing. Greg Piaz says, having not spent the time on the new maps, EULA, how do you think they can handle ownership of uploaded maps and what they actually have rights to? Well, I mean, right now, my understanding is anything you put on D&D Beyond, Wizards basically has the right, you give them rights to use it and stuff. You know, that's the issue. They have this very, very expansive, like, end user license agreement. Like, if you upload it, we have rights to it, and we can display it, reproduce it in perpetuity, worldwide, irrevocably, blah 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 blah. There's this whole crazy thing about it, you know. So that's the problem with that. We literally have a clause at the beginning of every issue of Lair magazine. We have a clause in there that states what you're not allowed to do with our products. And the fourth bullet point in that clause, if I remember correctly, was specifically developed to address people uploading our product onto D&D Beyond. Because if you put it on there, they claim rights of it, and you can't, like, they can't, because we don't give them permission to do that. You know, if we create a product and a third party uploads it, that does not give you don't get like proxy permission to like reproduce our product wherever you want, dude. No way. So anyway, we put a little clause in there to tell people they're not allowed to do it. Whether they do or not, I mean, we don't have a police force to go track people down, but. There's room for both, right? Depends on your need for variety threshold. It's like wine and beer. One drinks the other when they get tired of only drinking one. I don't get tired of drinking beer, dude. You give me a nice IPA, I'm happy, man. The only reason I'll drink wine from time to time is that we have tons of it upstairs because my wife likes it, but now she doesn't drink it. And so it's like, there's all this wine up there. I should probably like drink some from time to time. What does a professional dungeon master charge per hour on average? Well, let's go find out. Like, there's literally a site called what is it? Start Playing. Let's go over there. Start Playing RPG. I'll find it. It'll help me find it. There we go. So this is a website called Start Playing Games. I can probably put a link in the chat for you. We can just literally peruse this and find out what people charge. Here, so this is like one seat, $30, $25, $30, $7. Like let's look for find games. That's good. I was looking for a Dungeon Crawl Classic game. I was like, I wanted to play in a Dungeon Crawl Classic game, and I was searching for one the other day. And nobody had it at a time that I could do it. Otherwise, I probably would have played. But anyway, so this is Dungeon Crawl Classics, and you can literally go out right now and find a game to play in. $25, $15. This is per seat, so it's one game session, and the game sessions usually last about 2 to 3 hours. 2 to 3 hours. So 25, 20. You can see the prices. 20, so 15. This is what a lot of these people are charging, right? And this is for Dungeon Crawl Classics. Where was that game? There was. Almost all of Dungeon Crawl Classics used Tailspire, I was noticing. Does anybody know why Dungeon Crawl Classics everybody was using Tailspire? That was one of the reasons I didn't play either, because they all used Tailspire and I didn't want to use Tailspire. But this person right here, I think this is actually this is the one right here. I almost joined this one. Beneath the Well of Brass. This one right here uses Roll20. Where did they say that? It was listed on the front page. So this one right here uses Roll20, and so yeah, it says it right here too, Roll20. I almost joined this one. I think the game session is on Saturday. It's on Saturday at 7:30, but I'm running a game Saturday at 7:30, so I can't do that. Oh, anyway, I almost joined this one. That'd have been fun. But yeah, I've been wanting to play some Dungeon Crawl Classics. So, but that's about what they make. We can go check it out. Oh, hold on a second. Where's like Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition? That's probably like okay, let's try to type something in. Nope, let's type in 5e. There we go. That'll get it for us. So yeah, that's about what you got. $30, $25, $20 for a game session. So that means that for 2 to 3 hours, if you have say 4 players, you're gonna make about $100 or so, roughly. Which if you account for prep time, let's pretend that for every 1 hour of gameplay you prep for 1 hour. So a 3-hour session is 6 hours of prep time, and then you divide $100. I got to do math now. Where's this calculator? I got to do math. Let's do some math together. $100. If I get paid $100, so if I had 4 seats at $25, that's $100. There we go. Good. Then I divide that by 6 hours. I'm making $16 an hour. Right? So that's about what you're making. But if you're doing it in your free time, it's just extra change on top of what you already got, right? Other YouTube content providers push their profiles on there as professional DMs. What do you mean, Lord of Darkness? What does that mean? They push their profiles on there as professional DMs. I don't know what that means. What are you trying to say? Can you clarify that? I'm interested in what you mean. Dream's gone. Hello, what's up? There's a lot of Tailspire ones because they're by the same GM. Oh, they were? Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense, I guess. Wasn't really paying attention. I was just like, I don't want to get Tailspire. Like one of the postings was talking about Tailspire, and they're like, well, either you have to buy it as a player, or I could share video stream of it and then move your token for you. And I was like, that just doesn't seem like fun. Like, I don't want to have to buy it, and I don't want you moving my token for me. And so I was like, nah, I'll pass. Like, there really should be a version where the players, I don't know, maybe not, but I don't know. Captain Kirk says, I made a map in Tailspire just for kicks, and it was fun to make, but darn, it would make prep time go through the roof. I cannot handle more prep time. Are you kidding me? It already takes me 4 hours to prep an adventure, roughly. You know? Like, yeah, sure, that adventure probably lasts us 2 or 3 game sessions, but dude, I already spent 4 hours prepping an adventure. That's making the adventure. And then I still prep before the game. Like, I don't, like, the adventure is made, but before the game session, I still spend at least an hour preparing for the game, maybe 2 hours. Like, I have to review the monster stat blocks. I have to, so I know the monster stat blocks. I have to look up spells, plan which spells I think I'm going to use, so I know what they do. So I'm not like sitting there trying to figure out which spell I'm going to cast. Now, sometimes I'm stuck doing that, but I try not to. Like, I want to know what my monsters are going to do. I want to know what their capabilities are. I want to know what their spells do. This spell sucks. That sucks. That sucks. Oh, but this one is good. Use that spell. Like, I need to spend that time before a game session so that I can actually run a competent game session as a game master and not sit there and be like, looking crap up all day long. I don't want to look crap up. I want to know what I'm doing, you know? And so I have to design the adventure, and then I have to prep before the game session. And if you're telling me I got to spend hours making a map in a virtual tabletop, I'm out. I'm done. There's no way, dude. Not doing it. Oh, the Dreams God says, I would totally love to see videos or streams of you playing Dungeon Crawl Classic 2. I got a huge horde of DCC modules and myself and my co-GM want to learn it. Oh, cool. Oh, dude, you're a game master? Then you should be the game master, and I can just play in the game with you. Actually have. Oh my gosh. Hold on one second. So I've been reading. Oh, by the way, I don't mention this enough, but we have a giveaway going on today. We'll draw the winners at the end of the stream. You can win a copy of Into the Fae, signed by me. I will sign it. Or you can get store credit on the DM Lair store as well. So sign up for the giveaway. Is the giveaway? Oh, jeez, I don't know. Zach, you got it? Okay, Zach, great. Thank you, Zach. So I got these right here. I went to, where did I buy these? Grand Con. I was at Grand Con and I bought these from the Dungeon Crawl Classics vendor. Like, Goodman Games was at Grand Con and I bought these from the dude that was there. So this right here is the mod. It's the rule book. This is the player handbook. It's got the monsters in it. It's the Dungeon Master Guide. It's everything. It's all 3 in 1. And I got this. This is like one of their alternate covers and stuff. It looked super cool. So I got this right here. And I've been reading through it. I am like, I'm currently at the yellow bookmark right there. I don't know if you can see that. So I am about a quarter almost a quarter of the way through this book now. So, and it sounds pretty cool. I'm gonna have to play some Dungeon Crawl Classics. And then this is the module that I got. The guy recommended this one to me because it has a funnel in it. What are you doing, little guy? It has a funnel in it, and then it has like levels 1 to 5 or something like that in it. So anyway, I taken a peek at these. The artwork is amazing in these. The artwork, super impressive artwork. This is one of their maps. Look at this crap. This is so cool looking. So anyway, one of these days, my goal is to play some Dungeon Crawl Classics. All right, little guy, you can't rub the camera, okay? Can't rub the camera. All right, I'm gonna give my cats some treats. We're gonna keep on talking. I just want to give them some treats because they're up in my business and they need something to occupy themselves with. Here we go. Check this out. Right there, baby. Oh, you guys can't see that. Hold on a second. My dog is chasing off the cats. Will you guys relax? I'm getting you food right now. Guys, no, you're insane. All right, I gotta give my dog something too. My dog is losing her mind. All right, come here, psycho. Half of my cats got ran off. They totally got ran off by the dog. That's not cool. Does anybody know what the virtual tabletop, the new D&D Beyond Maps virtual tabletop is like? Has anybody tried it out? I don't have a D&D Beyond subscription, so I can't go in there. And even if I did, I don't have time to goof around with that crap. Cranky Smurf says it's bare minimum. What does it have then? Like, I know you can put a map in there. You can put tokens in there. But what else can you do? Like, I'm assuming you can roll dice and do damage and stuff. Okay, so Dreams Gone says, I've tried it. I like the way you can paint Fog of War, but it's leagues beyond Roll20 and Foundry. Something that's leagues beyond, or I'm sorry, behind. It's something that's leagues behind Roll20 has got a lot of work to do. Because Roll20 is like pretty bare. Like Roll20 does like a bare minimum of what you need a VTT to do. Which I guess is not that bad of a thing because fancy VTTs just make your life more challenging. So I guess that's not bad actually. Kitchif, what's up? Hello, dude. Sabletooth says it's really ways and quick to set up a map and tokens. Just has map, token, sizing, and Fog of War. Okay. Oh, catnip. Cypher wants catnip. We'll do some catnip later. Sizing and maps is weird. Unlike Roll20, you have to have grids on the map to size it correctly. Oh, really? The only way you can have tokens is if you own the monsters from the books. Well, I don't know. What does that mean? Own the monsters from the books? So wait, you have to buy the monsters. So on D&D Beyond you have to own the monster books, and then you can have tokens of them. Look at my dog is chasing off all the cats. Do people play on VTTs on their phones? Is that a thing? I mean, it must be a thing. People do everything on their phones. The dog is a loose cannon. The dog is going crazy. Running off all the cats. Except for Squeaky. Squeaky's like, I'm fat. I want my food. Leave me alone. Alright, what else you guys want to talk about? You got other questions and stuff? We don't have to just talk about the map crap. We could talk about other general questions and stuff too. Oh, you don't own the multiverse stuff? So you can't act. Yeah, I don't own that stuff either. I haven't bought anything on D&D Beyond for like 3 years. And there was this glitch in the program that allowed me to have access to everything, even though I didn't own it. And they fixed the glitch. And so now I don't have access to almost anything on D&D Beyond. What's my favorite virtual tabletop? Well, the problem is I have so much. We're just gonna watch the dog move back and forth, patrol back and forth, looking for food. The problem with one of my favorite virtual tabletop is that I don't have a whole lot of experience with them because I've mostly just used Roll20 and then Foundry VTT a little bit. And I definitely think Foundry VTT is cool, and I'm planning on transitioning to it from Roll20 for my one online game. But it's hard for me to say what my favorite is. I mean, Roll20. I mean, I complain about Roll20 all the time, so like, you definitely can't say that that's my favorite. You don't know what my favorite virtual tabletop is. Not playing online. It's playing right back there at my table with my friends. That's my favorite virtual tabletop. Oh, how is the secret art of game mastery going? Woo! Yeah, we could talk about that. I need to get some more coffee though. I will be right back. Watch this sleazy plug.
Are you a dungeon master? Do you want to be a dungeon master? Do you have blue face paint on your face? If the answer to any of these questions is yes, then you're just like me. Not only do you enjoy smashing players in the face with your axe every time they metagame, but you're also a busy person, and while prepping for a D&D game, well, sometimes that's hard. And as much as you'd like to force one of your players to run D&D for a change, well, they all suck, so it's pretty much up to you to be the forever dungeon master. And that's exactly why I get out my crayons every month and write a new issue of Lair magazine. Well, I mean, it's not just me, I have a team of people too. We all get out our crayons and write it, but yeah. Anyway, every issue of Lair magazine contains 5th edition Dungeon Master resources to help you reduce your prep time while still running amazing games for your lazy, good-for-nothing players. Every issue of Lair magazine contains 2 to 3 adventures complete with maps for online play. You know, we also sprinkle in other stuff like puzzles and traps, which, let's be honest, both suck to have to make yourself. So, I mean, wouldn't you rather just become a DM Lair patron and pay me to write them for you? I mean, you know, my team and I, with our crayons? Now, if you love your wonderful players as much as I do, consider helping me to meet my sales quota by becoming a DM Lair patron today at the link below. You'll get a new issue of Lair magazine every month and other cool stuff like map packs and bonus adventures. Okay, that's it. Please become a DM Lair patron now, or I will find you.
Okay. So let's talk about the secret art of game mastery, our Kickstarter. That's hot. All right, hold on. The secret art of game mastery. Hey. So this is what we're talking about. Oh, it's taking a long time. There we go. So this was our Kickstarter, The Secret Art of Game Mastery. This closed a couple weeks ago. Right now we're working on fulfillment, basically. We have pre-orders open too. So if you missed our Kickstarter, you can get pre-orders. The pre-order store. Whee! Yay! So you can still, now the pre-orders are not going to be open for long because as soon as we get some stuff going on here, we got some stuff we're working on. But once we lock things down and submit our orders to our printer, like, we're not going to be accepting any more pre-orders. So just be aware, it will not be up here forever. Like in many of our past Kickstarters, our pre-orders have been up for an extended period because we're still working on the content, but the content's already done for this project. We're really just working on getting it to our printer to be able to print the darn thing. So once we lock orders and send order to our printer, you can't order anymore because numbers are locked. So just be aware, this is different than from our previous Kickstarters. The pre-orders will not be open for very long. So, but how is it going? So probably the person is asking, they want an update on fulfillment and stuff like that. So, what do we have done? We have the standard covers are ready for our printer. The interiors are ready for the printer. I have a couple things on the interiors for the preparation book and the note-taking book that I would like to get an update from our layout and design person, and I need to send those over. Zach, did I send you a message, Zach, about I'm pretty sure, Zach, I sent you a message on Discord. I had reviewed the latest batch of things from our interior layout and design person, and I had a few comments that I wanted to send back for updates. And I think I wanted to see you're working on it right now. Okay, cool. Yeah, because Zach, I want to see, like, Zach and I are like doing our job right now on stream. I basically want to see if you have any other feedback and updates that you want, and then I'm going to send that back to our dude so they can make those final updates. So, but basically, the 3 covers are ready for our printer, and one of the interiors is totally ready. The other interior, we just have a couple little tiny updates to make, and then that's completely ready. And then the alt covers, the three, do we have the alt covers? I have trouble keeping track of everything. We have the alt covers. Are those laid out, Zach? I think do we have those laid out? Or is Handiwork still working on those? Do you know, dude? I don't know. They'll probably tell me later. And then we have to get the Game Master screen, and then the slipcase. The artwork's all done for it. We just have to get our graphic designer to get the PDF ready that goes to our printer. So it's a matter of getting that put together. The alt covers are getting put into the printer's templates. Okay, so our graphic designer has the alt covers and they're working on getting them into the templates. Okay, perfect. So that's almost done. That'll be done very quickly. So that's for printing. That's for printing. So everything's like super close. We're literally at the point where we're just like, make a tweak here, make a tweak here. Super, super close. The PDFs, so the digital files you're going to get, the interior, those are done. Like the PDFs are done. We have for the Secret Art of Game Mastery, Secret Art of Note Taking, Secret Art of Preparation. Those PDFs are done. I had a couple. Well, they're technically done. I had like one minor update, I think, on them. Like one of the pieces of artwork was too dark, and I want them to make it lighter. But that's a trivial update. It's like me nitpicking, probably, update to it. So, but those are for all intents and purposes, those are done. Like I could deliver those today and nobody would even notice. I'm like the only one who's going to notice that it could be a lighter piece of artwork instead of as dark as it is. So anyway, so those are pretty much done. Which means we're pretty set to give those to folks once the surveys go out and we give some time for the surveys to get completed. However, the roadblock we're running into, it's not a huge deal, but it's not good. Making the PDFs form fillable is turning into a lot of effort. Like we did not anticipate making the digital PDFs form fillable was going to be as much work as it is. And it's turning into a big, huge pile of problems. So we're currently working on that, and that's going to be the thing that is probably going to take a little bit of time. I don't know how much time. I'm literally trying to figure that problem out right now. So, but that'll take a little bit of time. So the print that does not impact the printing of the books. Does not impact the printing of the books at all. We're still going to be able to give you the digital PDFs, but the form fillable part might trail by a little bit. It might be later that you get them form fillable because it's taking longer to do that than we had any way of knowing that it would take. So probably not that big of a deal. It'll just take a little bit longer. Like you will have a digital PDF. It just won't be form fillable probably right away. Or maybe it might. I don't know. Maybe we'll get it figured out and sorted through in the next couple of weeks and it won't be a problem. I don't know. But that's our current roadblock. But honestly, if you're going to have a roadblock and a problem, that's probably a pretty minor one. So I don't see that as too big of a deal. Just things take a little bit longer than you'd hoped for. That's currently what we're doing. The surveys are mostly ready to go out. Like, I don't know if the surveys will go out next week or the week after. I have everything set up and ready to go for the surveys. I just have to get them reviewed by BackerKit. But here's the thing, like, BackerKit, this is just their policy. It's their policy. It's not a big deal. It's not a knock on them or anything. They did an amazing job on our campaign. But I have to pay them for all the advertising and stuff before they will review my survey. And we haven't received our funds from Kickstarter yet, so I can't pay BackerKit. So I'm literally waiting for Kickstarter to pay me so that I can pay BackerKit, so BackerKit will take care of our surveys and then we can send you your surveys. And it's fair. I'm not blaming BackerKit for that. There's a good reason that they put a stop on the process until they get paid. I totally understand. It's not a problem at all. But I'm just literally waiting for Kickstarter. and then we can get the survey reviewed, and then we can send you the survey and we can get the process rolling. Because the sooner we can get the surveys out and give you time to finish the surveys, we can get the PDFs in your hands, right? And so that's what we're currently at with those things. I think that's pretty much it. I don't think there's anything really else to talk about at this point. That's mostly the update. Yes, so Dungeon of Terra, the form fillable is for the secret art of note taking and secret art of preparation. So basically you're going to have I can just show you, there's nothing wrong with showing you. I can show you what they are, right? I'll bring them up for you and I'll just show you what we're looking at. Let me find them. Interior layouts. I'm gonna pull up the preparation one. I'm gonna pull up the PDF version and I'll show you the PDF version of it. Squirty, shut up! My cat's going crazy. All right, so now we need to go. I need to change the view options. Hold on a second. Menu, view, page display. Take this. There we go. Perfect. Why won't you zoom in? There's a lag. Okay. All right. Here's the PDF. So this is a secret of preparation. This is one of the workbooks. So obviously pretty cover. Page, table of contents. So the whole idea with this book right here, Secret Art of Preparation, is that it helps you design your campaign and the adventures. And the very first part of it talks about different concepts when you're designing a campaign. Now, we don't go into too much depth on campaign design because the other book, The Secret Art of Game Mastery, talks more in depth about this. So this is about giving you templates to help you design your campaign and design your adventures. So there's some details, but it doesn't go into crazy detail. And then it gives you examples in the template, and then they're mostly just templates. The book is filled with templates. So we talk about campaign NPCs, major villains, and then we give you templates. All right, so you have templates. And so these templates are the things that we're working on being form fillable. We want you to be able to click here and type in the forms, right? And then that's the idea, so that your PDF, you can just type in it, So make this all form fillable is the thing. So that's what's that's what is turning out to be quite a bit of work, because we have to, every single one of these little things needs to become a field that you can type in. And that's turning into being really a lot of work to make that happen on every single one of these pages. And this is 408 pages long, Yeah, I don't want to Yeah, somebody in chat's like putting a text box field into PDFs. Yeah. Yeah, Adobe, the way Adobe implemented creating form fillable fields is horrible. Just makes it a big pain in the butt. Hey Luke, are you thinking about making your one-shots for patrons to Pathfinder 2nd edition? I don't know. Here's the thing. When I run like one-shots or games for my patrons, I want them to be really, really good. And I don't feel like I have the level of expertise with Pathfinder 2 that I would want to have before I would run games in that system for my patrons. Like I want my patron games to be amazing, you know? And so I feel like I'm still working on learning Pathfinder 2 sufficiently enough so that I can run a smooth, awesome game for my patrons. And I don't feel like I'm there yet, you know? 5th edition is so easy, I don't have to think about it. I just run the game, you know, and we can have fun. Desert Paranormal Research, you are very welcome. Thank you, I appreciate that. Happy to make videos. Angelo says, Luke, how your Scrum Master knowledge interacts with being a Dungeon Master? Do you see some application of concepts of Scrum on RPG or vice versa? Well, I can tell you that there's a lot of things when I was working on a software development team or as a Scrum Master that I use. Yes, as a Dungeon Master, yes. I also use it just when I'm like running my business and doing my job too. Like we have a Kanban board. Like all of our work is represented on Kanban boards. Like we have multiple Kanban boards, and I swear by those. Oh my gosh, I swear by those. If I did not have the multitude of things that I have to do set up and I can show you my Kanban board. It's just crazy. All right, let me show you this. Stupid. I'll go to my work board. Okay, so this is my Kanban board. It's a disaster right now. It's an absolute disaster because all of these tasks are overdue. Oh no, this is due tomorrow. These are all due tomorrow. So this is everything that's ready for work. And then this is my current sprint. This is what I was gonna work on yesterday and didn't get done, did it? Stuff that's waiting, you know, and then stuff that's done. So this is like my basic Kanban board that I use for my personal work that I got to do. And then we have a Kanban board that we use for our Kickstarters right here. This one's getting nice and clean because we were almost done with this Kickstarter and we're about to start another one. And then we have a project management Kanban board right here that we use for all of our project management stuff as well. And there's a card right here in my review column that I need to deal with at some point. And there we have a Kanban board for our editing process to keep track of where everything for Lair magazine, our publications is sitting. Like, holy crap. If I did not have all of this right here, adding organization to my life, there is no stinking way that we could do what we do and run our business with like, you know, 2 people and then freelancers and other people that help with other projects and stuff. It's crazy, you know? Yes, dragging something into the done section is so like the best feeling in the world. The best feeling in the world is when I can come in here and be like, green, that's done, and then drag it over there. Oh, that's like the best feeling in the world. Yes, I love that crap, man. Yeah. But that's just the work that I do on my Kanban board. I also have my other work that's not on the Kanban board that's just on my calendar. I also do time blocking. So like there's Kanban work, like little project tasks and stuff, but there's also other work that I have to do, like scripting videos, recording videos, and staging videos, and making thumbnails and stuff. All of that stuff goes on my calendar because I use calendar blocking, time blocking as well to make sure that I don't overcommit to the tasks that I always overcommit. Let's be honest. I always overcommit. I never get done what I was supposed to get done. But that's just life, I guess. Goliath Cleric says, but as soon as that card goes green, you make me a new card. I do. A lot of times I do. Do you use a specific app or site for your boards? I use Trello. So Atlassian is the company who makes Confluence, which is a wiki, and then they also make why am I blanking? What is their Kanban board system? Oh, what is Atlassian's Kanban board system? It's been like a year and a half since I've used it. Jira, that's right, Jira. So Atlassian makes Jira, which is a professional, you gotta pay a lot of money for Kanban board system. But Atlassian also makes Trello, which is like their free or, not quite as much paid version of a Kanban board. So I just use Trello. Trello works really well. Yes, Jira. Dude, when I was in software development, we used the crap out of Jira. Yeah. So if you look up Kanban board, look up Kanban. I'll type it in. Kanban board. I typed it in chat. If you look that up, you'll get it. Google will tell you what it is. It's essentially, it's a project management system, I guess. It's a work management system. It's a way to visualize your work so you can see the work that needs to be done, and you can see the status of the work as well at a glance. So it makes managing work and getting stuff done a lot easier than if you just had like a list or something. So then there's also like a lot of the skills of a Scrum Master too are soft skills, people skills, dealing with people. And that absolutely translates into being a game master. Like, I very strongly believe that like a huge part of being an amazing game master is those soft people skills. And I've just seen that. I mean, I've been with game masters, been in games with game masters that don't have those people skills, that have been good game masters, but then there are game masters that have those people skills and they're amazing. You need like technical skills too, right? But you also need those people skills because you're running a game, you're managing a table. It's the D&D or Pathfinder 2 tabletop role-playing games is a social enterprise, right? Where you're running games with other people. And if you're in charge and you're running the game and you're running the show, you're interacting with other people, it takes some social skills. And so, yes, absolutely. I've seen like the training or the experience of being a Scrum Master translate over into running a Dungeons and Dragons game. Absolutely. Oh, Wildcaster, you just started running DCC? Yeah, DCC's. I swear I played it years ago at a convention. I think we did a funnel. I'm pretty sure we did a funnel. I just don't remember any details. The only detail I remember about my first experience with Dungeon Crawl Classics was the game master was horrible. She was like completely taking our agency away. She was taking control of our characters and like making our characters do certain things. Like I remember this one time she like told this one guy, "Oh, your character does this," and the guy was like, "I do." He was kind of like offended that like he wasn't allowed to control his own character, and well, he should have been. She literally was just making people's characters do whatever she wanted to have them do. I don't know if it was because that's what she needed to drive a certain story. I don't know what her motivations were, but it was we literally in that game. This is what I remember about that game too, is that we literally had people like suiciding to get out of the game. Like they would kill their characters off. They would literally go do something stupid to get their character dead so that they could leave the game. Literally that's what they were doing. We had 2 people, I think, that killed their characters, got their characters killed so that they could leave the game. That was how bad the game is. Your game is bad when players are like just leaving, killing their characters so they can leave and have a reason not to have to sit there anymore. Oh man. I think it was Dungeon Crawl Classics, but I don't remember. But it wasn't the game system, it was the Dungeon Master. It was the game master. Well, they call them judges in Dungeon Crawl Classics. It was the game master. That was her. She was running a crappy game. That was the problem. Call of Cthulhu. I played Call of Cthulhu several times at conventions, and it's been super fun. I like Call of Cthulhu a lot. You died in the tutorial adventure in the starter blocks? Yeah, dude, because in Call of Cthulhu, you like what they told me, like the first time I ever played Call of Cthulhu, they were like, so you've never played before? Nope. Have you played other RPGs? Yeah, I played D&D. And the guy was like, this is not D&D. If you play Call of Cthulhu like you play D&D, you're going to die very fast. Like Call of Cthulhu, starting fights is usually a bad idea. Like if there's a monster over there, you probably don't want to fight it because you're just gonna die. And I was like, okay, all right. I had to like and it was so hard because there were so many like conflicts in the game. And my first impulse was like, shoot them. I had like a revolver probably, like shoot them, kill them, get in a fight. And I'm just like, but they told me that was a bad idea. They told me I shouldn't do that. And I only had like, my health was like crazy low. I could die in one shot. Basically, you get shot once and you're dead, which makes sense. You get shot once, you usually are probably not going to be in good health. So anyway, it was fun. But then I got the hang of it a little bit more, and I like Call of Cthulhu. It's tons of fun. I love the game mechanics of rolling under, too. Like a lot of your abilities and skills are ranked from 0 to 100, and the higher your skill, the better your skill. And so to succeed at something, you roll under that number on a D100. And then they also have like different ranges. There's like a success, then there's like a critical success or a failure or a critical failure. And I'm probably getting the terminology wrong, but that mechanic exists. And I just thought that was an amazing mechanic. I loved that. For whatever reason, I just really liked that mechanic. I can't tell you why. I just kind of jived with me. I liked it. And that's right. Peter, that's right. If you survive long enough in Call of Cthulhu, you go insane. Yes, skill-based games are such a different paradigm. I like skill-based games. A lot of the fantasy games we have are all class-based. I want to play in one that's like skill-based. It would be so cool. I'm not familiar with Hero System. I'm familiar with Hero Quest, but not Hero System. Paul Rivers says, I'd pay to watch a sketch comedy bit of Barbarian rocking today's sleazy plug energy, making his players use Trello to track the plot hooks they're ignoring in his campaign. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. What's your current go-to system other than 5e? Pathfinder 2 is what I'm playing right now with my in-person group. That's what I ran at Grand Con. I ran a couple games at Grand Con and it was Pathfinder 2. So that's what I'm doing right now. But I'll tell you what, man. I'm like itching to play some Dungeon Crawl Classics too. So I don't have time to. I don't have time though. That's the problem. No time. Do you use Trello for gaming prep or related stuff other than your business uses? Not really. I will sometimes, like if I have like household chores type things that I have to do, I'll put those on Trello occasionally because I can set due dates on Trello and I can have the columns sort by due date. And so sometimes if there's something I have to do like 2 months from now, I'll put it on Trello because then I get reminded to do it and I don't forget. But I also will sometimes put those things on my calendar. It just depends. But mostly I just use Trello for work. What appeals to you about Dungeon Crawl Classics? It feels like it feels old school, but with better mechanics. So so I've played old school like AD&D first edition, these original games, and it has this feel to them, you know? I can't explain the feel. It's like, you know, death might be around the next corner. The world is a deadly dangerous place, you know, and adventuring is exciting because you never know what's going to happen. And that next monster around the corner could eat your face off, or it might be easy, or there's just this feel of playing old school where it's kind of like, it's more exciting because you just like, you don't know like if tomorrow is guaranteed, you know? And the mechanics are more basic and streamlined. Like you can put your entire character sheet on an index card type of thing, you know? and you roll you roll 3d6 in order for your attributes and crap. I don't know, there's this old school feel that Dungeon Crawl Classics has, except that the game mechanics are a little bit updated and refreshed, so it doesn't feel like it was written in 1976 or whatever. It feels like it was written, you know, more in our modern times, but it captures that feel, you know, of characters being, you know, not superheroes, and maybe you're gonna die, and it doesn't take you forever to make a new character. Just put one together, and then you're ready to go, and then he dies, you know. So there's just something about it that just, I don't know, there's like a nostalgia factor to it, I guess, that appeals to me. That's probably the biggest thing. And I gotta tell you, man, the artwork in that book really reinforces that too. They did such a good job with their art. Like their art director and their artists and stuff was super well done. Do you think 5e dumbed down D&D? Well, be careful. I used the term dumbed down recently, and people got upset at me. Apparently that's not a term you're supposed to use or something. So imagine that. I used a term that people got upset about. Imagine me doing that. I think 5th edition took a lot of the crunch out of previous editions. Like it took a lot of the crunch out of the 3.5, and 4th edition was a flop, and so it didn't do 4th edition. So I don't know. You see, you can say dumbed down, but what do you mean by that? It made it less complex. There's nothing wrong with a system that's not complex. Like what I'm reading so far about Dungeon Crawl Classics, it's not super complex. It sounds like it's lots of fun, because tons of complex game mechanics and rules, they can get in the way of things at times, depending on the type of game that you're trying to run, you know? And so dumbed down is kind of like a pejorative, right? Where we say that, you know, oh, these people can't handle it, it's too complex for them. It's like, no, not everybody likes that sort of thing, you know? Some people want like more of a rules light, and that's what people are looking for. So there's nothing wrong with that. It definitely did something different to it. Definitely made it easier, right? It took some of like the crunch. Like in 3.5, you had to use like character planners to make sure that you didn't skip this important prerequisite that would make you lose out on this thing that you wanted to do for your character at level 15. So you'd have to plan out all of your levels. Like I've had to do that. I'm familiar with that. So did you talk to the guy at the DCC booth at Grand Con? Yeah, I talked to him. I don't think he knew who I was, but I talked to him. I don't tell people who I am. They don't know me. They don't know me. I don't care. But I talked to him. Yes, 5th edition is very new player friendly. Yeah. It takes more work on the game master, but it's new player friendly. I read that if you want to try to do a solo play, being both player and DM, earlier editions of D&D are a lot better due to not having as many rules. Is that true? I have no idea. I've never solo played. I don't even know how to do that, really. I'm looking for questions right here. How or what are the top 3 introductions of new characters in Dungeon Crawl Classics? I don't really know what that is. I don't understand that. Nick is Chilling says, I find it difficult to play fantasy RPGs outside of D&D because I don't know how I'd convince my players to learn a new game system to play a game in a very similar setting. I'll tell you how you do it. This is the game I'm running, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to run this game. If you want to play, we're running this game. If you don't want to play, then you don't have to play. But guess what? I'm the game master, and that means that I can always find players, because there's always players that want to play. You don't tell your players this, like you'd be like a big jerk. turd, pompous idiot if you tell your players this. But look at, you're the game master. There's usually a reason you're the game master, because none of them want to run the game. If you decide to run the game in whatever system you want to run it in, like, they have a choice. They could not play, or they could just play your system, you know, the system that you want to play. So I mean, you're the game master, you have tons of control over it, you guys, you know. You probably want to talk to your players and stuff. It's better to have them on board with it and agree to do it, but you have a lot of sway as the game master, you know. It's a fact. You can always if your current players don't want to play that game, you can always just say, okay, that's cool. Well, you know what? You guys don't really want to play it, so I am going to run Dungeon Crawl Classics. And if you guys aren't interested in playing it, that's totally cool. I understand. We'll just put our current campaign on hiatus, and I'm going to go find some other players who want to play Dungeon Crawl Classics, and we're going to play that. And then maybe someday in the future, we'll pick up our campaign using the system you guys all want to play. You know, and you can just do that, you know. Like, you're the game master. You do not, you have a lot of say in what you want to run, you know. And if you're excited to do something, you should probably do it. Leo says, I'm moving to Pathfinder 2nd edition. Read the books. There you go. Oh, you have the problem of having 3 other talented DMs in your regular group? Yeah, you can always find players in your games. Especially if you're online. If you play online, you can always find other players. Easiest thing in the world. All right. You can't rub against my cup as I'm trying to drink. What's the most rules light TTRPG you played? Was it fun? I mean, there's one that I designed. I made my own rules light RPG system. Didn't take me too long to make it because it's super rules light, and yeah, it was fun. I don't know what I called it. I think I literally just called it RPG Light. I think that's literally what I wrote on the cover of the book. RPG Light. It was fun. All right, I'm gonna patrol for questions. Oh, you guys, we have a giveaway going on. Join the giveaway. Giveaway. I'm gonna, at the end of the stream, which is pretty soon, I'm going to be drawing the winner of our giveaway. You'll get Into the Fae, level 1 to 5 adventure module. I will sign it. You can also get store credit on the dmlair.com as well, on our storefront. Dungeon Crawl Classic is actually very reasonably priced. It's like $40, and you get the book and special dice. They use more dice types than D&D. Yeah, I paid $60 for my book at the convention, but they had cheaper ones available. But I wanted the hardcover, and I wanted this cover right here, and so I paid $60 for it. But they did have other ones available too, and that book is everything. It's the player handbook, it's the monster manual, it's the dungeon master guide. It's everything all in one book. So you look at $60 for everything. That's very, very nice. You just ate 8 ice cream bars? That's not good, dude. You shouldn't do that. Oh, you don't do all kinds of voices and acting out everything I do? You don't. Who cares? You don't have to do that. That's optional, dude. You do not have to do that. Just because you see people, like famous people on, like, you know, YouTube and Twitch, you know, voice actors and stuff who play the game that way, doesn't mean that's what you have to do. Like, I would say the vast majority of groups that I have been in, the vast majority of players don't do that. They don't use special voices. They just talk normally. Like, most people that I have played with don't use crazy special voices and stuff. They just don't. So what you see on TV is not representative of actuality. And then anytime you go, remember too that when you see games on Twitch, like, 90% of the people streaming on Twitch, it seems like they're trying to be the next Critical Role, you know, where they're cosplay sometimes and special voices and stuff. Like, I swear, you know, a lot of games aren't like that. A lot of games are just watch the games I run. They're just people at a table playing the game. You know, we're not putting on a show and stuff. So be aware that what you see on TV is not always representative of what an actual game looks like. They call them actual plays, but many times they're not actual plays. Keith says 45 plus years of GMing and I rarely use voices. Yeah, there you go. It's not required by any means whatsoever. I'm gonna try to find some more questions. Have you ever played Dread? Horror themed game, good for one shots. It uses a Jenga tower instead of dice rolls. Yes, I played that once at the first Lair con that we had. One of our dudes, Subcycle, ran a game using Dread for us. So yes, I have played that. It was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. Are you excited about or plan on playing Shadow Dark? I don't own Shadow Dark, and so no, I guess is the answer. I mean, it sounds cool. I met the person who made it. Hung out with her a little bit. It was cool. She's a cool person. But you know, I don't own the game. I don't own it. My 5e DM makes his dwarves Texan. Oh no, the only way to do a dwarf is with the Scottish accent. That's like how all dwarves speak. You gotta talk to your dungeon master. You gotta tell him that that's not the right way to do it, man. No way, man. All right, we're doing our giveaway. We are doing the giveaway, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see who our lucky winner is tonight. My dog looks dead. Look at this thing. Look at her. She's out cold. Shadow Dark is Dungeon Crawl Classic Light. So if DCC has too much crunch, Shadow Dark is a good substitute. Really? Oh, that sounds interesting. All right, we gotta do the giveaway. Let's see. How do I draw a winner? They changed the interface, and I'm still trying to learn the interface. Don't you hate it when like a website just changes the interface for no reason whatsoever? Adobe did that recently with Acrobat. The entire interface in Acrobat is different now, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like the interface was unintuitive to begin with, and it took me like a year to understand how to use the interface. And now you just changed it on me. And so now I have to find where my different menus and things are. Oh my God. And they probably didn't add any new functionality. They just freshened up the interface. Freshened it up. Just give it a, like we have all these developers on staff. We have to pay them to do something. Well, you know, if we don't have any features to add, let's just pay them to update the interface. Like, right? I mean, you can't just pay them to do nothing. Update the interface. I'm sure the customers will love that. Don't update the interface if there's not a good reason for it. And then there are people that update the interface and make it worse. Sometimes it's hard to tell because when the interface is new, it's new, and so you don't know if it's worse or not. But once you've had an interface for a while and it's horrible, like then it's bad. Like, yeah, I can give examples, but we won't. Let me draw a winner. Here we go. Drawing the winner. And then they charge to teach you the new interface. Yes. Yes. And then everybody, here's the other thing too. Everybody who has made videos and like courses about how to use that program, guess what they have to do now? They got to update their videos and screenshots and everything because they changed the interface for no reason whatsoever. Just because they had developers on staff that had to do something. They have to pay them to do something. So they update the interface. Or there's somebody in a suit who's like, has this, whatever, man. Okay. Where are we at? Jacob K from Norway. You are the winner, dude. You are the winner. Jacob K from Norway. You have won, good sir. I will be emailing you. Look for that. Eric, thank you for the $5 super chat, dude. I appreciate that. He says, your videos brought me back to the game. Thank you. You are very welcome, dude. You are very, very welcome. Oh, look, it looks like Jacob is in chat. Yay! Woo! Junderland Game says late stage capitalism. Got to love it. Well, you just have people on staff. You got to have them do something. You know, you can't just pay people and have them sit there and do nothing. You know, you got to give them work to do. Even if it's meaningless work, you got to have them do something. I don't know. It's the same way like stores will update the layout of stores. They don't want you to know where things are. Like they want you to like have to look around and find it because then you're going to discover more things. I don't know what the rationale is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I do believe we are done. Thank you for hanging out. I'm going to go probably do some work for a couple hours and then go to bed. So it's cool hanging out. We will see you next week. Are we going to be on next week? Are we doing this next week? There's a week that we're not doing it because I have something I'm doing. I think we're going to be here next week. No, wait. Wait, we may or may not be here next week. But anyway, there will be a future week where we will have a live stream and we will talk. So I will see you then. Good night, everybody. I gotta find my buttons now. Find my buttons. In stream. In stream.